Hello everybody, welcome back to Commonwealth Flipper. I'll tell you what, y'all, I am going to say two things today. I'm not going to apologize for either one of those two things. There'll be a lot of people that disagree in the comments, and that doesn't matter. And Justice told me my hair looked ridiculous today, so I got to put a hat on. Any rate, we got some good sales, and we probably shouldn't, and we still do, and that's part of the topic. Let's go take a look. There's my hat. So I've said many times that I feel like because of you guys that I have a pretty good pulse on what's going on, because I get so many messages across platforms that I can see when things are rough and things, you know, for the majority of people. The irony is that a lot of times when they're rough for me, they're good for a ton of other people and vice versa. So there are those people out there, but let me tell you, I have been seeing nothing but good feedback, almost nothing. Matter of fact, the ones that are negative feedback for how sales are going right now are the exception, and I've made a point of them the last few videos, actually. But I have got so many messages. Plus, I watch content all the time, and that content is, it's like people would have to find the bad things going on right now as far as the sales are going. And my experience is actually, even though my sales are actually pretty steady, they're not up. I'm going to tell you something why I think that is an excellent sign for me in a second. This I had to buy at a sale for $1, and I'm like, I will probably have this forever. But man, doesn't it just remind you of the 80s right there? And so I bought it, and they're not too hard to ship if you have the right box, obviously. A big screen, you know, one of these type of boxes works really well for those, or sometimes small TV boxes. And it did not sell for very much money, and it went off on 30% off, but it's still $1 into $20.30 plus shipping. It's also numbers day today. We're going to look at the August numbers towards the end of the video, but let me say this, you know, I got a message from two people today. I've never seen or heard of either of them, and they were like just thanking me, you know, and all these different things for encouraging them, you know, when times were tough. Very similar messages. One of the people was like, you know, I'm doing better now. The other person was like, I have more sales this month than I have in the last 4 months. And I'm like, really? That's crazy. Now that's, you know, obviously they're a newer seller, so, you know, you ramp up and you see those. If you've been selling as long as a lot of us have, you don't see those kind of bumps. You just look at the percentages, you know, month over month, you know, compared to the last year. This month in August, when we get to the numbers, I'm better off year over year in the month of August. And I was expecting a really big drop off as we headed into September for me, simply because I have not been doing many listings at all. I have been focusing really, really hard to get rid of all of the ancillary stuff, get rid of it, even the good eBay stuff on live selling, so I can reorganize and start this new process headed into Q4. I also took a 4-day vacation and a week-long vacation at the, let's see, when was that? July, and then August, we did a 7-day. And I have not been listing much. In the last 15 days, I bet I'm averaging, like, with the exception of that list easier thing that we did, like 4 listings a day. That's it. I expect my sales to plummet. And they've gone along like I've been listing every single day, which is a really, really encouraging sign for me. And I'm going to talk about some things that I've said in the past. And I'm going to say one other thing that I'm just absolutely bullish about. And I've said that in the past as well. I was going to head in and grab another item that just sold. And I was looking to see on my computer screen which one it was exactly, so I didn't make a mistake. And I saw another sale just come across. This is super cool. I've been waiting for this guy to sell, and it sold at full price. That is a Donkey Kong from 1982, the Coleco PVC. That little guy right there, believe it or not, sold for double what that thing sold for, almost $40. $39 for that one right there. That's awesome. Plus shipping. If you've been watching this channel a while, you know I film 3 videos a week. Well, I'm filming 4 this week, 4 straight days. So all of these sales, so I've literally filmed every single day, and I'm filming this day. So we've got 19 sales headed out of here today for under $900. So that is really, really cool. And that's the gross number, includes the shipping and all that. So you get that. Hopefully you get that. If you're not a reseller, you don't. That's the number I use. So, you know, I like to think 55% really minimum of that. That's another thing I want to talk about today that I'm excited about, because I looked at my numbers and I want to talk about that, not just the numbers of what's selling, but also my buy cost. And I was pleasantly surprised. It was exactly where I wanted to be. Let me go grab a shirt and we'll talk about that too. And it's an absolutely gorgeous day. Fall is almost here. Can't wait till the trees change. But I love the fact that this audience in particular likes to be positive. And, you know, sometimes there's stuff to be negative about. And there is right now for some people too. There are troubles, you know. You get a return or a rash of returns if you get a scam or whatever. So I'm not discounting that. But I'm seeing a lot of positive stuff out there from a lot of folks. I'm smart, y'all. Finally, I grabbed both jerseys, as long as they're right. This one sold, it's a Gators jersey. And I bought it for $1 down in Florida. Surprise. $15.95 plus shipping. And let me look at this Hokie jersey. That is a youth size. And so for me, on a youth size Hokie jersey, to get $20.97, I'm pretty happy with that as well. That likely was $1 buy too, although I can't remember where I got it. So that's not bad. $2 into 40 something. No, almost 40 plus shipping. Two separate ones. I just grabbed them at the same time. So I looked at my numbers today, and I use the cash method. I've talked about that before for accounting. So it's really, really easy for me to look at my numbers. By the way, shout out my reseller Genie, code Commonwealth if you need some help, and you can get 15% off your first month. It's really easy for me to look at my cost of goods. Like, I can see it like up till the day, and I went and took a bunch of cash out today as well. And not everything I do is with cash, because sometimes I'll make a bulk buy from somebody and pay in a different method like I do with Death Paw Picker. But I'm on track. I told you what my goals were. My goals were $250,000 in sales. At least 150,000 of that needed to be static sales. I'm still a little behind. I'm still a little behind that. But Q4 is coming, right? And my store is kind of built for that. I'm also a little bit behind of my live selling goal, which is $100,000. But I'm inching closer to getting caught up, and Q4 is coming. So hopefully this is going to work. Although I have a little sourcing trip that I'm going on that'll take me away for a couple of days too. But at any rate, I'm excited. But I was tracking. So if you're shooting for $250,000, what would the cost of goods be on that? I'm a garage sailor, y'all. That's what I do. I source pretty cheap. And so I wanted to see where I was at as far as my cost of goods so far. And keeping in mind that I don't source very much in the winter months. You know, once November hits, it's going to slow down for me sourcing big time. And in December, it's basically no sourcing. January, basically no sourcing for me, with some exception. So my numbers for sourcing, my cost of goods, is actually on pace to stay under $25,000 in sourcing. And if you can make $250,000 off of the gross number, off of the 25, I'm going to do well. I should at the end of the year make, even with my expenses and having Jess come in and help in there to do the live selling, I should be well over $100,000 in net profit, which is super exciting to me. I know for some of you big time pros out there, that seems, you know, like small peanuts. And for some of you new folks, and some of you folks been doing it forever on a small time basis, that seems like a huge amount. I'm not saying that to brag or to get ridiculed for not selling enough. I've said it many, many times before. To each their own. They each put in different amounts of time and effort in hobbies versus businesses and all those things. But for me to be able to live like this, live this dream of loving to go to garage sales and to source and to be able to do this, and to see, because there's been rough times in eBay over the last 3 years. There's been some big ups and big downs for a lot of people. But, I mean, the sales are just staying right there. And I'm not putting in the time the last 2 weeks on eBay. I've been putting in a ton of time, just not on eBay. And the sales are still going. It's an encouraging sign to me. I have high hopes that the stars are aligning for us resellers, that we might see a good Q4 for the first time in a while, like noticeably different, not just an average one. I hope that's the case. We shall see, but I know now's the time to put in the effort right before it starts. Size small. I think I have one of these left. Is that not even the right one? Nope, that's the right one. $22.36 for the size small belt. Have one more to go. I've actually done most of my buying for the supplies. I do have to get some more printer paper, stuff like that. But I ordered 500 pieces of poly bags, and I've got stuff up there. We got the American Bubble Boy bubble wrap on the way, the auto delivery. Use that link, by the way. Auto delivery is awesome. You get it cheaper, just FYI. And they just deliver it every 2 months to me. And it's usually the right amount. And every once in a while in Q4, I got to order a little bit more. But it's so nice to not have to think about it. And we got more boxes in. I'm ready to roll. And I just got to make a push on the listing side. As soon as we're done selling off this stuff, I've got about 4 weeks to go of my major sell-off to get that basement clear so my wife doesn't kill me. And then we're going to get going, rolling hot and heavy into Q4. So let me know. Be honest. If you think I'm just pie in the sky, I've said for a long time that I have seen what I think is a trajectory for those who are in the game, doing it right, keeping track of everything you need to pay the smallest amount on taxes that you can possibly pay, sourcing correctly, making connections. I have seen, I personally believe that there will be fewer people making more money reselling. That's my belief. And a lot of people are like, oh, it's so overcrowded and whatever, and you can't do whatever. Well, maybe so. But I'm certainly seeing that right now. The folks that I know that are like resellers, you know, whether it's part-time, full-time, whatever it is, I'm getting a lot of good reports back from them. But now I need your report, so tell me down below how it's going for you right now, good or bad. You won't be ridiculed in this place because sometimes it's good for some and sometimes it's good for others. So tell us in the comments. My daughter doesn't really like scary dolls, so I hide them sometimes. Chucky bought these at the Browns, I think I was. And I think they wanted $25 for them, but I'm like, it's a little dirty and, you know, whatever. But I'm like, okay. I think I offered 15, maybe settled on 20. I can't remember. But they did not sell at full price. But they did sell, and I'm still making money. $52.20. So even if it was 20 into $52.20, it's still okay. I'd rather it be 15, but I think you get the point. So Chucky and Bride of Chucky needs a little magic eraser on it, but not too bad. Headed out of here, plus shipping. My boy had a bunch of stuff that he wanted me to take to the dump the other day, and these were in there. And some other stuff, and you'll see one in a minute. These were the TCG game things, I think. Is that what they're called? VFriend Series 2 Collect Card. I don't know. This is like the game part of it. I don't know what it is, but I put it out there at a super cheap price, and they sold quickly. I probably put it out there too cheap, but he's like, yeah, I don't want them. I'm like, okay, cool. Can I sell them? He's like, sure. $14 plus shipping. I'll show you one more thing from that as well. Plus there's this one right here. I told you about this. I got one of these boxes for $99 when they released it. I was lucky enough to get one. They're going for $800 right now. I will say at the beginning of summer, I put in a lot of work. I was putting in like 70-hour weeks. It was killing me. My wife said, you gotta stop. And then she made me go on vacation twice. 3 times. Have I gone 3 times? Well, one was short. At any rate, we're actually gonna go one more time somewhere else. And then she's gonna go on vacation. It's crazy. At any rate, Black & Decker. And I think this was a Death Style Picker. One part of that lot right there that I bought from him, that giant trailer I bought that I'm now working my way through. And because I need to clean out stuff, if I'm listing something new, like not new, but new to me as far as the listing, I'm putting a really competitive price on it, and I'm trying to get stuff out of here pretty quick. Ironically, it's the stuff that's been listed forever. Like this been listed forever, this been listed forever, these been listed forever, this been listed forever. So is this. This is the only thing other than this that is newly listed because I haven't been doing too much lately. And selling a lot on Dibdit. Thank you, by the way, for everybody who's come over there and support us for our charity thing. Oh, you know what? I need to thank a bunch of people. I'm going to do that in just a second. This right here, I listed it just a little under market. And daggone if it didn't sell super quick. $80 plus shipping. Quick break from our regularly scheduled programming here. Just to give some thank yous to some folks. For many of you who watch this channel a long time, you know in Q4 that's when we do a lot of the charity stuff. And I say we meaning we. I don't mean we. because you guys have always been so amazing to it and for us to do this. And I feel like I've been so incredibly blessed that you guys don't even understand how thankful I am. And so we do 50-50 charity auctions. Some are complete charity auctions. We did one the other day on Dibdit, and I'm going to move a lot of that charity stuff over to there because so many people, we blew past 15,000 members over there really quickly. So I'm really excited about it. But I want to thank some people really, really quick. You can skip ahead 30 seconds if you want, but these people deserve it. They donated to either Ronald McDonald House or St. Jude. I'm not going to mention the names of the people who bought in those auctions, which 10% of that went to it as well, plus $50. I will mention the people who did it with me and put their butts on the line because they ran up against me. Pacific Picker and Tony's Retro Plus. Both of you, thank you. You both have YouTube channels, so I'll put one right there. I'll put one right there. You guys, that was not easy to do. Say, yeah, we're going to do this and we're going to go up against you and compete. And I'll be honest with you, y'all beat us. Y'all beat us. I'm still donating the $50 regardless, even though I got beat. The winner had to pay extra. That's how, I mean, you don't do it that way very often, right? So thank you to you guys. Barking Mad Treasure. These are all people who literally just donated to either St. Jude or Ronald McDonald House. I will post the gift over there. So far, the reports for all 4 sellers, DJ and SJ were the other one who sold with me. Over $800, y'all. Over $800 to St. Jude and Ronald McDonald House. And I think Pacific Picker gave to somewhere else. But Barking Mad Treasure, Second Chance Treasures, thank you. Mama Bear Reseller, Pipe Dreamer, Matthew, Dusty Dollar Shop, Dustin, Checkerboard, Mitzi, Mama Mitzi, Hard Rock Resells, James Jr., James, thank you. Kalen's Collectibles, Dusty Box Treasures, and you were extremely generous as well. Who else? Pacific Picker gave to my part of the charity and then gave to his part. That was really kind. Cheeky Sloth, Michelle, Grammy Lisa, Kat. There's probably more on here. If I've left somebody out, I apologize. Now, what I haven't got much of lately is I haven't seen anybody send me anything about Mercari and or Poshmark. So I am very curious to know. Maybe it's because I don't talk about it much, so this audience that sells over there doesn't follow me too much. I don't know. But I'm curious if you're a Poshmark seller. That's not true. I did see one person send me a thing about Poshmark, said that they had a great month. Or maybe I just saw it. They didn't send it to me. I can't remember. But let me know how those two platforms are doing. I don't sell on either anymore. You know me and my silly Bonanza stuff. So, all right, let's see if I can find Danzig. Look at this. The CDs have been a boom for us for sure. This is what's kept me going, I think, more than anything. And those hats that we're selling like crazy. Because I have not been listing much, but I need to, and I'm buying like crazy, so I can't wait to get to it. 10 Danzig CDs. That sold for $89 plus shipping. So big thank you to all those people who joined us on Dibdit, even the folks that have just joined us, just to hang out, get in the chats and stuff, because even if you don't buy, I feel like I know so many more people that watch this channel because of that platform. It's not just buying and selling. There's a lot of just camaraderie and talking and chats and stuff. So that's been pretty cool. I also have been overwhelmed. The growth of my Facebook channel, I think we're at 525,000 followers over there right now. It is impossible for me to keep up with people. And that platform has allowed me to be able to do that a little bit through the messaging and all that. So it's been kind of neat. Even Instagram I can't keep up with, and certainly my email. People have been going over to eBay to send me messages. Please don't do that. It is really hard on us. So anyway, Ertl, you know, this was just like this. I put it right at the market or just below to make sure we got a quick sale because these take up space. And these are old ones right here. This is from, I don't know what it is. I don't have a date on it, but it sold quickly for $49.95 plus shipping. Did we all have one of these? I remember having a blue one when I was a kid. I remember tearing this thing off of it. But man, there's still these Ertl diecast, these old ones, they still go for good money. $50 plus shipping. Also, as a big thank you, I did go out and purchase with my own money a Nintendo Switch 2. And it should be listed now over there on Dibdit for, I'll probably put like $10,000 on it. And if somebody wants to pay that, great. I'll go out and buy another one. But if not, put a $1 offer in on it. If you've never joined up over there, just go over there, put the $1 offer in. It won't cost you a dime unless it costs you $1. Somebody's going to buy that for $1, free shipping. Just as a thank you from us to all the people who have joined over there and anybody else who wants to. Just keep in mind something. You will get alerts and emails, and I get complaints about those. We're trying to minimize that over time. But it's tough when you're small and growing. So if you do that, you don't want those. Once you go over there and put that, you can toggle those alerts off and you won't get any of them. And we'd still love to have you over there whenever you want to, and we won't bug you to death. Or at least if you can figure out how to toggle that off. At any rate, I'm going to get into the numbers here. I've already given you a little bit of a preview, but look at the numbers for August, for static sales, eBay mostly, and for live selling here in just a second. Here's what else was in my son's pile of stuff he wanted me to go take to the dump for him. These right here. And I have sold these before. I sold them in the packages. We bought them when they first came out, and we did really well on them. But I think he sold them as packs on his eBay. And he didn't think these had any value, which this one really doesn't. But anything with this black cat on it goes well. And that's what's sold here. So I think we lotted all these up together. But this one right here, it's a little wonky. Got to get it going back straight. This empty case, y'all, sold for $80 plus shipping. Should I tell him? I don't know. He's living here rent-free, so maybe I'll just take the cash. Plus, he comes in and ships his eBay and uses my boxes. So I don't know. You tell me in the comments. Should I tell him I sold it for $80, or should I just take the gift and walk away? That's my oldest son, by the way. I don't make Turner pay rent either. And if that was Turner's, Turner would not let me sell it for him without giving him some money. Any rate, $80 for that. If you find any of the VFred stuff with that black cat on it, it's going to be worth something. But I was shocked that that was worth that much. I don't have many viewer sales today, but I'm going to speculate on something right here if I can find the right one. Maybe I can't. Oh, here it is right here, I think. Yep, right here. My phone is ringing. Hold on a minute, y'all. I will talk about this one in a second. That's Dan Reeves. Is that the right one? That's not even the right one. And here's my speculation. This one just sat there with very little interest until my video came out. 1962 Frank Gifford. Right there on that Sports Illustrated. And then it sold the day the video came out with this one on it. So I'm going to say, Cindy, maybe you're a viewer, and give you a big thank you. $9.95 plus shipping. I bought a whole bag of stuff, including a Sports Illustrated. Got like $55 worth in 3 magazines. I think I paid $2 or $3 for the whole bag, so that was pretty good. You got to love those garage sales where you see something in bulk out there and you just make an offer on everything and you get it cheaper, and then you come home and it's better than you thought. And that was this lot right here. And we have sold, we've done a few of these different ones. One of the footage I think I lost with one of these. Shower gel, that sold for $22 plus shipping. And then the lotion Juniper Breeze, and these are all multi-quantity listings. We've already sold some. I think that's what I paid for all of it. It was crazy good deal. So this one sold for $24 plus shipping. This one sold for $22 plus shipping. That's pretty good. 2 different people. And I sold some shoes. So we've been selling a little bit of everything lately. And these were right on top, so they have not been listed too long. Did not clean them. Surprise, surprise. Commonwealth figure doesn't clean shoes very much. $24 for these plus shipping. I can't wait for this video to come out. It feels like it's been 3-4 weeks since I did this one. I must be backed up about a month right now on videos. I've had so much footage. Might skip ahead to make it more current, but on the Picker channel. This was a great sale. I've got a little thread on there. It's an older, it's made in China, but it's an older Masters Collection shirt. Brand new with the tags. It sold for $34.95 plus shipping. Look at that. Look at you. What have you been up to? Got no dogs in here. They gotta say hi to somebody. But there's no treats, bud. I'm sorry. You're going to be mad. Look what I just found sitting outside on the porch. So my wife or my son or somebody ordered something. I'm like, holy moly, that's going to be perfect for that. Have you noticed that I haven't had treats for a few days? Because the dogs aren't in and out every 5 seconds. They know I don't have treats. No Name's not smart enough to figure it out. Sold another Camaro keychain, y'all. We're down to 6 of these left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 left. Well, 6 left. Because this one sold. That makes sense. 1046. How many of y'all go back far enough on the Commonwealth Picker channel to remember that by. It's been paying off for years and years and years. Here's some irony. I went out today, actually. I don't know what day you're seeing this because I've filmed so many videos, but went out today and I found one of these. Paid $3 for it, and this one sold today because I paid more for this one. I was down at one of my boys' tournaments. Actually, the one I found today is actually a better one than this, but it's the same thing. Big Mouth Billy Bass. Wait a minute. Now I'm confused. That has an open box. This, no it doesn't. This is not an open box. The one I bought today has open box. Anyway, this one has Take Me to the River, if you remember that one. This one sold for $59.95 plus shipping. I think the one I bought today is even better. My personal numbers here, static selling, and this is majority eBay. I accidentally put this over here. See the 7,900. I put it in the wrong spot. Didn't line up. So this is 10,900 static, and y'all, for August for me, in a month that I didn't work my tail off listing, I did the month before though. I was super happy about that. Live selling 7,900. We got a ways to go before we get to our 100,000 mark, and we'll do a tally when we get to the end. And this is going to be well under. If I did that every month, we would not get to, what would we be at? We'd be at less than 130. Is that right? About 130,000. We need to get to 150 for the year. But it is August, so that's a good sign. So those are my personal numbers. We'll look over everything at the end of the year. And then I throw in Dibdit numbers because people are curious, even if they're not over there. We have, last 30 days, we're at about just right at $100,000 in sales on that Dibdit marketplace. All of the marketplaces combined have topped $1 million for the year so far, which is cool. However, we consolidated now all of them back into one marketplace. Dibdit.com, with two exceptions. Dibditcards.com, which will just be cards. You can sell cards on Dibdit, but if you're doing a whole show of cards, do it over there on cards. And shopcommons.net. The rest have all folded back into Dibdit.com, and we're excited about that. And the sales have been going up over the last few weeks, so that marketplace will reach $1 million on its own this year, which is what I predicted, and I'm really happy and thankful to everybody who's helped me do it because it has been tough. And I'm working my tail off to do it. And let me know out there, eBay sellers, how your eBay sales are going. Even you live sellers out there, even if you're not on my platform, tell me how that's going over there too. I hear mixed reports. Some really, really good, and some like, it's a waste of time. You know, I'm hearing a bunch of stuff. So let me know what you think, and let me know what is your outlook for Q4. Is it going to be same old, same old? Is it going to be worse? Is it going to be slightly better? Is it going to be a lot better? I'm leaning towards the slightly better than the, obviously COVID was a different animal, right? But I'm leaning right now from what I'm seeing to slightly better Q4. Hoping for better than that, so we shall see. I almost forgot to thank Julie, who grabbed one of these guys. We're probably going to be putting these over on Dibdit.com. In Q4 anyways. So Julie, thank you. She says, thank you. Now I have a complete set. So you got 1, 2, and 3. That's really cool. And hopefully my store will be ready for Q4. I hope so, and I hope he gets things moving for you. I want to mention something on the social media side really quick that I find interesting because I'm in social media and I'm in reselling and I mix them all together. I had 2 different messages this week, both of them thanking me for roughly the same thing. I'm going to bust this thing. That's why this actually goes for $100, y'all. But the top is wonky on it. And so since that's the case, I listed it for a little less and stated that. There you go. Now it's better. Anyway, that's this thing that I showed you earlier. But both of them was basically like, thank you for not making AI thumbnails. One of them was thank you for not going AI. One of them was thank you for making normal thumbnails. I'm so sick of seeing whatever. And I'm like, I just don't know how to make them, but you're welcome. And I think there is a push for tangible things, for authentic things out there. And maybe that's something we can tap into on the reselling side as well. People like interaction. They like reality. They like flea markets and garage sales, and they like to see people and support local people. And we're trying to do that as well. We always have. All of our merch. Y'all, I might lose money on merch, to be perfectly honest with you, with the charity stuff, with Reagan, and with what we pay, because we're trying to support local folks. So thank you for all of you who do that. I have not checked to see. Reagan is finally feeling better. If there's any sales that are going off on her CommonwealthPicker.com today. But she's already at practice, so I can't pull her in here. And Turner's got to go to practice, which means I have to go. Thank y'all. And thank you for allowing me to be positive and still getting people to watch the channel. A lot of people use the negative, and we do occasionally when it's appropriate, but I just really don't like being negative all the time. I like having a good time. I like good news. And some people thrive on the bad news, and thank you for not being those people. So can't wait to see you next time.